in San Francisco, California, and under a full moon in Capricorn. And oh my God, it's been so exhausting. I don't know about you, but I've been so tired the last couple days with the combination of the Mars retrograde and the Sun opposite Saturn at this full moon. It's just a lot. So if you're feeling like completely just out of sorts, it's the combination of all these energies that we have going on. So it's really important to get extra beauty sleep right now and just, meditation time, retreat time. Saturn has a really strong, like a really heavy presence at this full moon. So I think we have to really conserve our energy and recalibrate with the Mars retrograde happening at the same time. That's what I'm recommending for everyone. So please make time for inner reflection and just downtime in general. It's a really good time. We're basically in the summer of retrogrades. Now that Mars is retrograde, Saturn's retrograde, Neptune's retrograde, Jupiter's retrograde, and the only thing not retrograde is Venus, which she won't be going retrograde until October. But maybe we have to find refuge in our relationships right now, and that means all of your one-to-one connections and all of your important one-to-one encounters. Mercury's not retrograde yet, but Mercury will be retrograde in a couple weeks, so we're going to be entering the shadow of that soon. But let's talk about the full moon, since that's what we're under, and the Sun opposite Saturn. So the Sun is in Cancer, polarizing with the Capricorn full moon, and Saturn, of course, is in Capricorn, but this full moon is right with Saturn, so that's why it has a heavy feeling. It doesn't have a full moon energy feeling. I just got back from doing a dream workshop at the Assembly, which is this wonderful, women's clubhouse in San Francisco. I think they might be opening one in New York, rumors I heard. But there's one in San Francisco, and it's this really awesome, speaking of Mars and Aquarius, place for people to come together. And everyone there tonight was saying they're just exhausted and feeling like doesn't feel like a full moon, or what's going on. The energy feels so strange. I'm so tired. Like, why? Is it usually full moons? I feel energized and uplifted, and this one feels just like really heavy. So a lot of that's because of this strong Saturn influence. With the moon conjunct Saturn and the Sun opposite Saturn, we're really feeling that inner pull between wanting the emotional release that Cancer, the Cancer energy tends to activate in us, and then that kind of repressive, self-controlled, self-restraint energy of Saturn and Capricorn. And it's like we have to really be sure that fears aren't running the show right now, because Capricorn can bring up a lot of our fears, and Saturn and Capricorn can bring up a lot of our fears. So we don't want to go into the fear realm right now, where we worry about lack, or we worry about worst case scenarios, or we let our inner demons kind of take over whatever those fears are. And I always say the inner demons have a lot to do with fear, guilt, or shame that we are buying into, which are often not even happening. It's not happening in the present. It's something maybe based on the past, or something we worry about in the future, but it's not anything we should really be giving our energy to. So this is the time, I think, to really come into the present and get into alignment and get into integrity, because Capricorn is a sign of integrity. Saturn is the planet that helps us come into alignment and, live in integrity, like make sure that our words and actions match, and make sure that we're following through on our intentions, that we make good on our promises. This is a time you don't want to flake out. You don't want to flake out this week during the Capricorn influence, full moon in Capricorn. So depending on where Capricorn is in your horoscope, or where Saturn has been transiting since the beginning of the year, this is coming to a head. You might be feeling like, okay, it's time to really get everything in, proper working order now, like really get my ducks in a row, as they say, or like really streamline or really get clear about my priorities in this area of my life, and stop procrastinating, or stop being messy, or kind of half-hearted or haphazard, or, half-assed about it. Like, it's time to really get clear about where you're directing your time, your energy, your focus, your prioritizing, and where you're putting your life force right now. Because Sun opposite Saturn says, like, don't, just be really clear about boundaries and be really clear about where you're putting all your creative energy and where you're putting your emotional energy. Sun in Cancer, what you're nurturing, what you're cultivating, what you want to build on. I think a lot of the Three of Pentacles tarot card, I don't know if I have it right here. Well, here's another card for this full moon, the Devil tarot card. That's Capricorn. So, whatever we're in bondage to. And that's the Sun card. But I wanted to find the Three of Pentacles here. Oh, that's the Five of Pentacles. I thought I had the Three of Pentacles right here. But anyway, the Three of Pentacles is all about building and getting a proper structure in place. The World card is the Saturn card, and that's a 3 also. And 3 is the number of manifestation, creation, solidification. Here's the Three of Pentacles. Here's an image of the Three of Pentacles. So the Three of Pentacles has a lot to do with creating. He's creating a powerful and sustainable foundation. And Capricorn is doing the quality level of work that allows us to build and sustain something of a lasting value. So you don't want to put your energy into something that's flimsy or, isn't going to last long term. You want to put your energy into something that has, lasting value and is going to support you in the long run. That's essential right now. So that's what this Capricorn full moon is about. And we are all being tested in some way in that Capricorn area of our chart over the next couple of years with Saturn running through there. It's like daily tests and daily trials and tribulations asking us how we're going to show up and if we're going to show up better and if we're going to show up consistently in that area of our life. Because if we're, trying to skip steps or we're not really putting in the true, our true potential, we're not living up to our true potential, we're not really giving it our all, we're not showing up at our best, we'll feel it. We're really going to feel it. Like Saturn will call us out on that. So it's essential that we really live up to our top potential now. So, and then with the Mars retrograde, I just want to talk a little bit about that. During Mars retrograde, it's really important that we are clear about energy leakages, like where our energy is leaking, where we're unconsciously letting energy spill out, or we're burning out, or we're letting anger get in the way, and we're losing a lot of energy through unnecessary frustrations or like petty arguments or contentions that steal our energy, steal from our physical vitality. So we want to have healthy physical outlets for Mars during this time, but we don't want to burn out, we don't want to fry, we don't want to overwork or work in a way. We want to work smart. I've been saying this is a time to not work harder, but work smarter. That's the connection, I think, with Mars and Aquarius, and then this full moon in Capricorn. So facing our fears, facing our inner demons, getting into integrity, getting into alignment, time management, and then using the Mars and Aquarius energy retrograde to revamp, revision, rethink our goals. And always during Mars retrograde, it's good to look at, like I said, energy leakages and your relationship to anger and aggression and action, and where are you doing those things consciously or unconsciously, because those will be amplified now during the retrograde. So how do you want to be more active or action-oriented, call to action, Mars retrograde? But this is not a time to take on new actions. This is a time to improve on or repair or revise the way you do things, the way you channel your energy. So I'll probably make another video going more in depth about the Mars retrograde, because I think a lot of the teachings of the specific Mars retrograde in Aquarius will come up over the next few days. We're still getting used to this energy. We're still processing it. We're still internalizing it. And a lot will come through my work with my clients and my own dreams. So I'm still kind of tapping into what this one is about. With the South Node, I do feel it's a lot of clearing out of old energetic patterns in the Mars area of your chart. So maybe look to where Mars falls in your horoscope to see where you're completing some old karma and just finishing up and really finally relinquishing some patterns of, again, perhaps the way you get angry or frustrated, but also where you need to strengthen your courage, be more decisive, be more action-oriented, and just coming into a more conscious relationship with Mars as an archetype. And Mars in your life and in your psyche. So Mars is amplified over the next couple of months. So it's good to return to your natal Mars placement and also your South Node placement and look at how those two might work together or not work together, and what stories you might be finishing up over the summer, as Mars will go back and forth over the South Node, or K2 as we say in traditional astrology, or Vedic astrology. So I like to think of the nodes more as the Rahu K2 because it gives them more of a living quality, which I think suits the energy of the transit a lot more. And K2 has a lot to do with taking things out, like this feeling of pulling out or dissolving or like releasing from the world. And our energies could feel like they're kind of getting dissipated in some way, depending on, again, where you find Aquarius, this transit of Mars and Aquarius retrograde through your chart. So look to that, and then look to how you want to make your physical energy and your relationship with Mars more conscious over the summer, because you have until the end of the summer. The shadow period won't clear until October, but this entire summer we have an opportunity to work with Mars more consciously. So if you have a hard time getting into a workout regime, or you want to get into a more conscious relationship with your physical outlets, this is a great time for that, or to amp up on that. But not to push yourself too hard, and not to like take on a bunch of new projects or even like crazy physical goals that, are going to make you burn out. You want to have a slow, steady approach. And again, the teaching with Mars and Aquarius is something that is more attainable and sustainable long-term. Look at long-term benefits versus immediate gratification. That's a Saturn teaching. Saturn rules Capricorn and Aquarius. So we want to think long-term gain, not short-term, immediate, give me the hit, indulgence. We want to think what's going to be really the best in the long run. And if you think again of this image that I brought out of the Three of Pentacles, it's about building that powerful foundation that will then sustain you and be helped. It can maintain over time and weather difficult storms, things like that. So anyway, this is the full moon in Capricorn energy, Mars retrograde in Aquarius combination that we're in. And, it's a good time to, like I said, clear out old patterns, confront your demons, let go of fear, let go of guilt, let go of shame, and come into an ability to step back, be in the present moment, and have like a little more objectivity, when you see things in the bigger picture. It's a great time to look at things. What do you want? What are your priorities long term and big picture? So anyway, thanks for watching, and I hope that the information in this video was helpful, and I'll be back with the new moon solar eclipse in Cancer coming up next in July.